Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me today and taking a look at my presentation. My name is Matthew Monarch, and I'm doing my business report on the outlook of banking. And to start us off today with my first slide is what led me into the field of banking. And I have shown a high interest in stocks over the past few years. I love the amazing work-life balance that bankers get, the benefits that come with it, the things that my friends who are bankers have told me about the field, and being tired of manual labor. Over the pandemic, I grew an interest in stocks. I seen how much money people were making. I know it's not realistic as to what happened during that time, but I know now what can happen over a lifetime of investing. And at my previous job, I was a butcher and I didn't have much work-life balance. And my friends who were working the bank, I was pretty jealous of because they got all these holidays off while I was working and they were getting paid for it and I wasn't getting paid any extra. And they were in at 9, they were out at 5, they had time to enjoy their day. And my dad got cut down to part-time recently, so I lost my benefits through him, and my current job had not offered benefits, so I needed to do something about that quick. And once again, my friends work in the field of banking, and they would always talk about it, and I was like, wow, that sounds awesome. And the whole manual labor thing, just standing on your feet all day, it's hard on your body, and it's not healthy. Just couldn't stand it anymore. And my first job we have here today is a loan processor. And the whole big thing with loan processing right now is the outlook over the next 5 years is pretty debatable. It really depends on which toll our economy takes. Some people say we're going to have a recession, some say we're not going to. If we do, people probably won't be taking out loans for houses. It just makes sense. People are going to be tight with their money. But we can't predict the future. We have our guesses, we have our theories, but only time will tell. And it consists of lots of office and desk work. Most of the day you're filing papers, you're calling clients, and that's about it. You're sitting on the computer. You need to provide excellent customer service, which I've always been big on, even when I was a butcher, a meat clerk, a manager. These were things that I took pride in. I wanted people to leave my store happy. I wanted them to think I was friendly, and I wanted them to remember me. There's not extensive schooling that goes into loan processing. Places will hire you with a high school degree. Some places want you to have an associate degree. I know loan processors at UWN. I know people at Rocket Mortgage. Some of them went to college. Some of them didn't. Some of them are. And the salary, it can be good. It can be not so good. Depends where you work. Depends how well you perform. The median salary is 40 to 50 grand a year. Could be less, could be more. A lot of it is incentive driven. And to our next slide, which is a similar job, somewhat different though, is a mortgage consultant. Once again, this is the same point as the last slide. The outlook over the next 5 years is debatable. You don't know what's going to happen, and that's a chance you have to be willing to take. The economy could take a turn. There's going to be a need for people to do this job still. It just might not be as many. And once again, lots of calling people and mediating between the broker and your client and filing their paperwork, organizing their paperwork, finding out exactly what they need. And providing quality knowledge is a big thing. You need to know what you're talking about. You need to stay up to date with the current mortgage rates and give your client reasonable loans. Don't let them go for something that you know they're not going to get approved for. You're going to give some people a hard time doing that. There's a decent amount of schooling that goes into it. A lot of places require an associate's degree. Some places require that you have a bachelor's degree. Many places want prior experience, whether it be something like a loan processor or an underwriter, just something in the field that would definitely help. The salary here is slightly better. It's good, it's not great. 50 to 60 grand a year. Once again, this is another incentive-driven job. I have friends, like I said, that work at two very big mortgage companies based out of Detroit, and most of them receive an extra $25 if they process 10 mortgages in a day. If they refer this person to the company, they get $100. Stuff like that, that can make a big difference if you're really putting in the work and bringing business to the company. They want to reward you. And this is my favorite job out of all of them. Since I've done my research, I definitely like this the best. It is investment banking. The outlook on investment banking over the next 5 years is great. It has been most of the time, and it should continue to be. It does take extensive schooling. Most banks or brokers or whatever company you're going to work for, they want you to have your bachelor's degree. Some of them want you to have your master's degree. If you're a junior banker, you're probably going to have your bachelor's degree, and if you want to become a senior investment banker, then they're probably going to require you to have your master's. You're definitely going to need some prior experience here, somewhere in the field of finance, somewhere in banking. You're going to need these qualifications, and you're going to need to get certified in whatever the exact courses are. Some places have their own certifications. There are nationwide certifications that you need to meet and hours that you need to keep up with. Big part of the job is investing your client's money or investing a company's money. This is high responsibility. There may be times where you're dealing with hundreds of thousands, maybe millions, which does happen, especially when you're working with corporations. That is not to be taken lightly. That is not to be taken lightly. And yeah, it's a lot of responsibility to have. And you have to keep your knowledge up to date. You have to know what's going on in the economy. You have to know what things are going to boom, what things are going to bust. There's a lot to keep up with. And with all that being said, the salary is pretty good here. You're going to be making six figures more than likely. The median salary is 100 to 150 grand per year. Some people make more, some people make less. A lot of these people end up making a good amount of money in their lifetime because they are experts in their field, and they take their work into their personal life and they invest on their own, and they turn their $100,000 a year maybe into $1 million over 10 years. And I have the pie chart here listed that was actually in my business report. This was my primary research. I interviewed my friend who is a relationship banker at Flagstar, and he has been for the past 5 years. And the biggest parts of his job and the most important parts, he told me, were talking with your customers, calling your clients, following up with your clients, finding out what their needs are, getting to know them on a personal level, and just making great connections. And also, obviously, he opens a lot of accounts. Sometimes he's closing accounts. He's often opening credit cards, debit cards, ATM cards. Whatever the customer's in need of, he's there to help them. And then a small portion of his job, he acts as a bank teller occasionally. Maybe a few times a day he has to go to the window and make a deposit for somebody's paycheck or make a withdrawal if somebody needs cash. And in conclusion, I believe from the research that I have done that all of these jobs hold a promising future. Some of them better at certain times, but they're all great jobs and they can pay well. Most of them do, and depending on the times, once again, they can pay better than other times. And the work-life balance is amazing. I just started at Flagstar a couple weeks ago, and I'm already loving it. And I just think this is a great career path for me. For anybody who's interested in the field of banking, I advise you to just dip your toes in the water. And thank you, everybody, for watching my presentation. I hope everybody has a great day, and good luck on the rest of your course. I hope you had fun doing this project.